tutorial, we are discussing about overload constructors. So what is constructor overloading? In addition to overloading methods, we can also overload constructors in Java. Overload constructor is called based upon the parameters specified when new is executed. Similarly, we can execute the method overloading. We can also execute the constructor overloading. The same thing happens with constructor overloading also. We can make the parameter difference within constructor overloading. When do we need constructor overloading? Sometimes there is a need of initializing an object in different ways. This can be done using constructor overloading. For example, thread class has 8 types of constructor. If we do not want to specify anything about a thread, then we can simply use default constructor of thread class. However, if we need to specify thread name, then we may call the parameterized constructor of thread class with a string args like this. Thread T new thread is, and in bracket we provide the variables. So using this in constructor overloading. This reference can be used during constructor overloading to call default constructor implicitly from parameterized constructor. This should be the first statement inside a constructor. Then only we can achieve the constructor overloading with the help of this keyword. So, there are some important points to be taken care while doing constructor overloading. Constructor calling must be the first statement of constructor in Java. If we have defined any parameterized constructor, then compiler will not create default constructor and vice versa. If we don't define any constructor, the compiler creates the default constructor, also known as no argument constructor, by default during compilation. Recursive constructor calling is invalid in Java. Let's see the code how we can implement the constructor overloading in Java. Code of constructor overloading. So here we make a class box, and in the box we take 3 variables, instance variable, that is width, height and depth. And here I make a constructor with 3 parameters, that is box, w, double h and w double d. And hence we assign the value of width, height and depth with respected value of w, h and d. And then we make a constructor we used when no dimension is specified, and hence we specified the value width, height equals to depth equals to 0 here. And again we make a constructor when cube is created, and we assign the value box double length is equals to width equals to height equals to double is depth is equals to length. And then we compute and return value volume, and for double volume we use return width, height and depth. So in this program we make a constructor overloading with 3 types, that is first with no arguments, second with double box of rectangular types, and then a box of square types, and then we calculate the volume. Here is the code for driver code. Public class constructor overloading, and inside the main method we just initialize the value of that earlier classes, that is box, my box 1, new box, and in this way we give 3 parameters, and in this we give only 0 parameters because it is no argument, and box my code new box 7, which consists the square box, and then double volume, and inside the volume we just print the volume of my box 1, volume of my box 2 and volume of my box 3, and then print the respective output of these volume. Let's save it and execute it. We are already in our program file, that is program file Java tutorial. We are already in our location. Let's compile it Javac. We are compiling using the our test driver code, that is constructor overloading code, because constructor overloading consists the main method, and we all know that the program which consists the main method we can execute only that command. So we write Javac constructor overloading dot Java. Hence it compiles successfully. Let's execute it. Java constructor overloading. Hence it executes successfully. It will give me the output of all the volumes, that is volume of my box 1, volume of my box 2 and volume of my cube, that is 343. So in this way we can achieve the constructor overloading. Let's discuss the constructor overloading using these keywords. So with the help of this keyword, how we can execute this? Let's discuss it. We can make a class, this example, and inside the class we use three variables, that is of instance variable, that is width, height and depth, and take a variable that is box number. So in first, that is this example, we take four variable, that is w, h, d and num, and in this we initialize all these variables with the type of the specified, that is width is equals to w, height is equals to h, depth is equals to d and box number is equals to num. Then again we take a constructor with no dimension, that is this x, and provides the value 0 over here, and we use again another variable constructor name, that is this x, and in gives the parameter only one, that is num, and here I use this for calling the default constructor from parameterized constructor. So we all know that this should be the first statement in a constructor, and we can use this as well as. So inside the public static void main, we make just the constructor one, that is this x, box 1 new this x, and it will give me the box 1 dot width. Let's save it and execute it. We are already in our file location, so just write zavac this ex.java. Hence it compiles successfully. Let's execute it. Java this ex. See, it will give the value 0.0 because 0.0 we provide here, this dot ex, and we provide 1, and for 1 it use the default constructor value, and default constructor value it gives the value 0. So my output is 0.0. So in this way we can achieve constructor overloading in Java. Thank you.